Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are just under 12 minutes away from State of the Game 158 on the, what is it today? It's the 6th of May? Damn. That's crazy. I hope everyone's doing okay in the crazy world that we seem to be living in these days. And you're taking care of yourself and, you know, staying indoors. So do that. Because I kind of want to make sure that we all get through this as quick as possible. Even though it's going to take some time. Because I just want to get back out there on my bike. You know? Touch some people's faces. You know? Not at the same time. Cheshire, you stay indoors anyways? Yeah. Me too. Hi from Japan. Hi. Konnichiwa. We're living in the Division. It is oddly familiar. Which is tricky to deal with. I'll get Mackenzie and Chris on the line soon. We'll do a test to make sure they're being heard and everything's good, but I think everything's cool. It's nice to virtually hang out with all of you. I miss you. Hey, Chris, Mackenzie, you there?
Hi, chat.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
It works, I think. I'll adjust a couple of things as we get closer to the episode. Are you guys not enjoying, are you surviving staying inside?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Sweden is Sweden, but we don't have to go out that much. We can do most of the stuff at home, so that's, you know, pretty safe and sound, I guess, is the wording I want to use.
Yeah. Mackenzie, what about you?
Yeah, it's been good. A lot of bonding time with my cats, you know?
Yeah, sounds about right. It's crazy that, like, the weather in Sweden is so freaking good and has been for the past, like, few weeks. And, like, it's just can't really enjoy it the way I want to.
Yeah. It's like it finally is nice weather the second that you're supposed to stay inside.
Exactly. But, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
the least of our worries right now. All right,
Yeah,
we'll be
indeed.
back in 6 minutes. We will see you all in a little bit for State of the Game stuff. All right.
Okay.
It's fixed. It's fixed. I got it.
Okay.
It was the usual spiel. State of the game 158. Hi everyone, and then a big secret that you all missed.
Yeah.
I think it was the raid release date that we definitely
release
won't
date,
repeat.
that was-
Sorry. Yeah.
You said it once, never again.
Yeah. Sorry that you feels bad. Yeah, sorry about that. It's my working from home setup, throwing us for a loop again. But Chris and Mackenzie, we got you here now.
Good.
And
Glad
you
to
might
be
have to
here.
go back and like reverse engineer some lip reading and stuff for the raid release date. Just kidding. Like someone's going to take that seriously. Don't waste your time.
No,
we'll
not today.
We'll give you that raid release date when it's ready.
We will give you the raid release date once we're ready. We're doing tests right now internally. So once we're closer to the release date, as I said last week, like we want to give you a heads up for sure. So there's no need to be worried. Like even if you miss state of the game, we will obviously post it everywhere else.
Yeah. I accept full responsibility for technical issues during state of the game. I'm running this whole thing from home. Usually, there'll be someone else doing the buttons and everything. It's my bad. Sorry about it. Okay, so there was a maintenance yesterday. There have been more spawn points added for reinforcements during Warhound convoy activities. This will make the activity more in line with other open world activities in terms of completion time. Everyone knows what that means. Fixed an issue making it possible to kill Kajika in the Pathway Park main mission before the final encounter, so that shouldn't happen anymore.
On that point, let me just interject because we've seen some reports that there's now like a second Kajika that shows up and he's invulnerable. While we don't know if it's connected to the fix, obviously we'll look into this. We had reports of this last week already, so we don't know if it's just more present now or if it's something that has been exacerbated by the fix, but we're looking into it.
Cool. That's good to know. The thing I wanted to get to next, because I know it's been a hot topic, especially in the past 3-4 days, mostly, the shade level points being regained by using points in conflict. Thanks to everyone who sent videos of that. You know who you are. We are deploying a fix for this during tomorrow's maintenance. Apparently,
Yes,
Chris?
So yeah, correct. So if you don't know what's happening, we've seen reports of players being able to spend more shade points than they should actually have. I'm not going to go into the details about that, but we have a fix ready. There will be a very short maintenance tomorrow. We don't know the timing yet. We'll be announcing this later today, I hope. We had some issues internally getting the builds ready, but what will happen is if you were a player that used that bug, you'll basically get your points just reset to where you should be. That means you don't have any more points than you should have. And then the only thing that you will have to do is you have to re-spend the points that you have. So if you, for example, were at like shade level 200 and you gained like 10 more points than you should have, tomorrow your points will be at 200 and you will have to re-spend them again into the categories. If you didn't do anything, if you didn't participate in conflict and use that situation, then you don't have to do anything. If you did it accidentally, no worries. We understand that this is a bug that could happen to you if you were just playing conflict and were doing the shade level points, during the PvP mode. So there's no punitive actions, no punitive account actions, no suspensions, no something like that. We're just going to reset the system for those that have had more points than they should have.
Yep. Okay. Good to know. I think that's pretty clear. If anyone has any more questions, please let us know. But I'm pretty sure that's clear as, what do they say in Sweden? Sausage water.
Yeah. We'll also post on I think a forum post will go live rather soon, just explaining that. In case, if you log in tomorrow and your points are back to, 0 in all the categories, but you have all the points that you earned, it might be a bit confusing. So again, if you see anybody, that is just normal if you had that bug happen to you.
Okay, cool. Good to know. What's the deal with Delta and Foxtrot errors, Chris?
Yeah, so we've been looking into this for a while now. I know that a lot of people in the Asia Pacific region have issues. We're seeing more reports on PS4 about this, but in general also other platforms. It's a little weird because we've never seen this come up in the Division franchise before. So we actually had to implement some new tracking to figure out what's happening internally. So that's continuing with the work. We have done some backend changes on the service, so we've seen that the overall amount of Foxtrot errors has gone down. but it's still there, and obviously that shouldn't be. So work continues. We obviously have this as a high priority for all players, because we know that even if we're saying like Asia and Pacific right now, I also know that there's people in Europe that are affected by this. So it's a big topic for us, but again, it's been really weird to figure out because it's not something that we've seen before. And as I said before on State of the Game as well, if we don't have the underlying cause, it's very difficult for us to fix it. And we're doing some back-end things to mitigate it, but we definitely want to fix it properly.
Okay, good to know. I want to get to Mackenzie's topic as quickly as possible because I think it's the juiciest information that we have today. The NPC balance changes in 9.1.
Yes.
Coming next week?
Correct.
Yeah, let's start with that first. Exactly. I talked about that last week. So we have a final date for 9.1 now. It's next week, Tuesday. Mackenzie is here to talk about all of the changes that he has been working on. I just want to reiterate again, this also has a bunch of bug fixes. We'll get you a proper list by Monday evening that goes out as the usual maintenance notice. But again, I talked about this last week. So the FPS drops in the Dark Zone, for example, that gets a first improvement next week, Tuesday. I know that people have been reporting that the Oxidizer, if you use the skill on enemies, it actually also reduces the shield, or that does damage to shield to allies. That's going to be fixed. And then the annoying recommended activity tab, that's also going to get fixed next week to have that not be there permanently. And then also the frenzy talent that can stay active, that's going to be fixed next week so that it disappears when you swap weapons properly. I have a full list again next week when we're closer to the patch. Again, this is a client-side update. That means we can do some UI changes as well. And I know that Stadia users, for example, have said hey, my M1A and my Baker's dozen, the numbers are not correct. That will also be fixed with 9.1 because we can update the UI in this point. And now we can get into the beefy part because Mackenzie did a bunch of work, and I'm very excited about that as well.
All right, Mackenzie, the top level stuff. What's if you were to summarize what you've been working on recently that's coming next week, how would you sell it to me?
So I'd say that it's ironing out the outliers in the game currently with NPCs. So to be very clear, this isn't a global balance change for NPCs. We are discussing that right now. We're looking at doing that for TU10.
Okay.
So what we're doing for 9.1 is fixing the skills, weapons, abilities that really stand out as a difficulty spike compared to everything else.
Okay. All right. No, that's nice and clear. What are the key ones for you that are the outliers then?
Yes. So the hyena assaults, the SMG that the red bar uses. Mm-hmm. I've seen all the amusing Reddit posts and everything. It's definitely doing more damage than it should be. So we're nerfing the damage of it, and we're reducing the out of cover accuracy for it.
Okay.
Another thing is status effects from NPCs. We're reducing the damage that burn does and also bleed. Something to note with these status effect changes is that it's also going to affect PvP. And there are more PvP changes coming in TU10 as well.
Good to know. All right, chat seems happy about that one. Yes. Glad you dropped that. That's awesome.
Grenade accuracy, that also is getting nerfed for NPCs. So we're reducing the accuracy of the grenades the further away they are from their target. Something to note with that, elites do have better accuracy, and hunters, rogues, and legendary have better accuracy than elites, but you should still notice a difference with that. And we've also gone ahead and reduced the accuracy of the hyena throwers airbursts, the Black Tusk mini tanks grenade, and the cleaner turrets napalm airburst. Something to note with the grenade accuracy stuff is that the different throwers from different factions have different optimal ranges. So like the cultist thrower, their optimal range with their Molotov is 20 meters. Mm-hmm. So if they're further away, you're going to notice that inaccuracy sooner. Whereas the hyena thrower with their airburst grenade, their optimal range is 30 meters. So they're going to have to be further away to be less accurate. But it should still be noticeable.
Okay, very good. Someone was just... Sorry, Chris, you go.
Yeah, so not only are you working on the accuracy so that they hit you less often, but also like the fire, as you said, just does less damage. That means overall you'll see a bigger increase than just like, they don't hit you as often, but they also don't hit you. Like if they hit you, the impact is not as high, right?
Correct, yeah. So it should come together to feel quite nice.
Okay.
Another thing that we've seen posted, NPC blind fire accuracy. We are reducing how accurate NPCs are when they blind fire. Legendary were super accurate before with their blind fire. They are now less accurate. They're not as inaccurate as normal grunts. Instead, they start inaccurate, and then the longer they've been blind firing, the more accurate they get. They still don't get super accurate, but that's just something to keep in mind, that if you were to do a 20-second blind on a legendary, after 5 or 6 seconds, they will start to get semi-accurate again. There's diminishing returns with that.
Okay, cool. Please dump all of this on us.
Okay. NPC aggressiveness. So we're looking into this. One thing to note is there's not an easy global fix that we can do here. I've seen posted before people thinking that with TU8 and Warlords of New York that we intentionally made NPCs more aggressive, which we did not do. We didn't intentionally make NPCs more aggressive. It's just a combination of changes that were for other things, sometimes leading to it, and then also just the increased difficulty of the game since TU7. Like with the change that we made in TU8 to make the game actually hard, it exposed a lot of underlying things that we weren't seeing before.
Okay.
And so the changes that I'm going to list here about NPC aggressiveness are very like specific fixes, and we're looking into more. We're looking at videos, we're playing at home, and it's going to take some time.
Okay.
But we're doing our best.
All right, great.
So we've reduced the frequency and aggressiveness of NPCs' behavior to advance on hidden targets. So that means if you were hidden for like 8 seconds or something before, certain factions which were considered aggressive, like the hyenas, they could start to advance on you because they couldn't see you. So now we've made it so that they have to have not seen you for a longer amount of time, and we've adjusted how they advance on you, so that it should feel less aggressive.
Okay. So they have like a lower passive perception.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Sorry, I've been itching to play D&D. But please keep going.
Yes. Another fix. With the Hyena Assault, Cleaner Assault, and Outcast Assault, if you got really close to them, so within 5 meters, they would start their too close behavior, and they had a custom one which would have them circle around the player. But it could get stuck in a loop, and they would just aggressively circle you, basically until you ran away from them. So we fixed that now, so it times out after 6 seconds or so. So that should be pretty noticeable as well, that if you get too close to them, they will actually start to back away.
Okay.
Another fix. Sorry.
No, please keep going. I keep thinking you're coming to the end of this list of things, but there's a lot. There's more than I expected.
No, this is less than halfway through.
I'm like, yes! I'm excited about that. That makes my job really easy. I'm just going to sit here and drink my tea.
Sweet. Another fix for NPC aggressiveness, the non-tank NPCs, so people who aren't a heavy, when they were affected by status effects like burn or blinds, they could aggressively path towards you, so they'll no longer do that. If they're on fire, instead, they will try to maintain their existing distance from you or back away. So that should help as well with that. Looking on some buffs for players, we've buffed player skill survivability. So we've reduced how much damage player skills take from NPCs. We've also buffed some player status effects. So we've increased the damage that bleed does to NPCs, poison, and the napalm ensnare from the cleaner's turret. So all of those will do more damage to NPCs now.
On that, just because I know that people will be asking questions, that is specifically for NPCs, right? Like in PvP, that will not do anything. We're not increasing any damage in that area.
Yes, this is only for NPC. As mentioned before, we actually reduced the bleed and burn damage in PvP. and against players in PvE. Another nerf, which I've seen, I think a post today about on Reddit, the cleaners tank their flamethrower. The range was crazy long, so that's been reduced as well. With the hyenas RC car, we've seen that's killing people much more frequently than it should. So we've gone ahead and reduced the damage of the RC car explosion. We've reduced how long the lingering fire stays on the ground from the elite RC car. And we've also reduced how often they deployed. And one last one, we reduced how long the burn and confused status effects applied by the elite RC car explosion, how long those last. So hopefully feels a lot better to fight against the RC cars now. Similar kind of NPC skill, balancing the Black Tusk suicide drones. We've reduced the damage of their explosion, and we've reduced how often they can be deployed. The Black Tusk support station, we've continuing to make changes to that. The support station will no longer heal mechanical NPCs. So it won't heal big dogs, mini tanks, etc. It also will no longer heal destructible props. So there's objects in the game that you have to destroy, like doors and stuff. It was healing those, which was totally not intended. And we've updated the legendary version of the support station to have these the checks for the LOS and the healing caps and stuff that we added into 9, because it had missed those.
Damn, dude, you've been busy.
Yes, I have. And we got a few more things.
Cool.
We buffed in-cover blind fire for players. And so what that means is we've reduced the size of the player's hitbox against NPCs when they are in cover and blind firing. And so what that means is it should feel less risky for players to blind fire at NPCs from cover. So we've not only nerfed NPC blind fire, but we've buffed your own. So that should be good.
And again, I'm just like pointing out these things. As you say, like the hitbox adjustment, that's again only in PvE. So if you're playing PvP, there will be no adjustment, will be the same. If players blind fire at you, you'll have the same chance to hit them as you had before 9.1.
Correct. Another fix that we did, armor kits that NPCs use will no longer completely heal them. We had done this fix on some bosses already in TU9, but we'd missed bounties and a few of the specific bosses. So that should make it feel a bit better when you're finding a bounty and they don't all of a sudden magically heal to 100%. Instead, they'll heal to like 80% and then 70 and 60 if they have more medkits, which they typically don't. To note there, hunters still heal completely, but that's because they're hunters. We've also adjusted status effects priorities for NPCs so that ensnare is more important than blind or burn. So what that basically means is that if an NPC is ensnared, they will not move now. Because we saw the videos of where if you ensnared an NPC, but if you blinded them first, they still ran around, which was not intended. Another fix, the NPCs could throw a firefly, which did an excessive amount of damage. I think we saw the video posted a couple of days ago, where like the boss threw out a firefly and it just one-shotted a player, which was definitely not intended. So that will no longer happen. And the last fix that we got for 9.1 NPC-wise is we lowered the likelihood of tank to rush your hives and turrets to stomp them. So it should make them not rush towards you aggressively for those. And that's all that I got.
That's a lot.
9.1
already.
Dude.
Oh.
I gotta say, I didn't expect as much in 9.1, and this is just as it pertains to NPC fixes. Chris, do you have any top-level information about other things that are being bundled in 9.1, or is this the focus?
This is the focus, I think. Again, there's going to be a bunch of bug fixes as well, especially looking at talents and what we can bring in to fix those things. Like I know that Negotiator's Dilemma, for example, is an ongoing topic and things like that. So we're looking to bringing those before. I don't have the list ready yet, especially because some of the server side things, so that are not needed to be in the data part, are not done yet. So we are still continuing work on this. as I said, on Monday we'll have a full list that also will include all of the NPC changes that Mackenzie just talked through. So if you missed some of them, they will be on the forums. I know that Joker will put them up on Reddit as well. So if you haven't gone, or if you just tuned in, you'll see the whole list that Mackenzie just posted. And I want to also say something that I saw in chat, like, oh, now it's going to be way too easy. That's not the goal of this. Like, as Mackenzie said, I just want to repeat this. There's other things that we can look at for TU10. And the cool thing about 9.1 and why I love that Mackenzie just put everything in there is if we look at 9.1 afterwards and your guys' feedback is like, okay, now it's good, then we also know that we don't necessarily have to twiddle around with the global settings. Yeah. And if you say like, oh, now like I can run legendary in 2 minutes, and we can also say like, okay, maybe we can use some other dials and notches to fix it or to change it again, right? So TU10 is again the big one that we'll look at to make the most changes, but 9.1 is giving you a good, I think, look at the difficulty, right, Mackenzie, of like where we want this to be.
Correct. Yeah. So we're gonna see how 9.1 goes next week, and we're already looking at TU10. What should we do globally to try to fix things?
Cool. I think the first feeling that I get from all of this is that the adjustments that are being made go to address the things that aren't necessarily difficulty related first, but are more unfun things that just kind of make you have that experience that's just like, ugh, when you get one shot by an RC car, you're just like, well, okay.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's the way I phrase it was kind of like it's more of bugs than necessarily balance. Like, of course, it's going to affect the balance of the game, but it's just things that are just outliers and weren't intended to be that way. And like, I think one thing that's really interesting since TU8 is that things that haven't changed since the base game, like a year ago, are all of a sudden really clear as outliers now. Mm-hmm. Like the RC cars, the Hyena SMG, like we hadn't buffed those or changed those in any way to make them better since the game launched. But now that the game is like actually hard compared to what it was in TU7, like those things really all of a sudden show up as like, this is way too good. And so we have to adjust those and try to bring it in line with other things.
Yeah, understandable. So just to reiterate, this is coming next week, Tuesday, Chris?
Yes,
I've seen a bunch of questions in chat about that. That's cool. I mean, I think, I wasn't expecting as much from 9.1, to be honest. And that's you undersold it, guys. You undersold it, so I'm excited. Very cool. I just want to, can we just stop the stream and put the patch out and play now? That'd be good. I'd be into that. Like we said before, and we've alluded to, TU10 is on the horizon. We'll talk more about that once we get through this, and we'll have more context about what that'll mean, and we want to share as much of that with you as we can when we get to it, but that's really cool. Have there been any questions in chat or anything that you want to address, Mackenzie? I mean, we'll have you around for a little bit longer, so if anything does pop up, just let us know.
Yeah, I'll give it a look.
Cool. Chris, while Mackenzie's having a look at that, I think it would be elegant for us to talk about the things that are happening in Season 1.
Yeah.
What's happening there right now?
Yeah, so I've seen a couple of comments yesterday as well, yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Every day is not the same. For the home league, so the home league continues. I've seen some people being confused why their progress has reset. So I'm just going to reiterate again. Home league is the current league. You have different challenges, speed runs and NPC challenges, and they reset in between the weeks. So it runs for 2 weeks. And the progress for the rank is continued. So if you had like 20 last week and you now do 40 this week, you'll get all of the rewards at level 60. So if you've seen your progress being reset, that is completely normal. And you just will get more rewards once you finish it. And as you can see in the video that Hamish put up, so that the Lady Liberty backpack trophy is there. The exotic cash that you can get is still there. And that will run until basically Monday night.
Back 1 6, sorry. There you go. Okay.
I actually was finished with that. Like that will run until Monday night / Tuesday morning until we start the maintenance. So you have time to do that. Again, I've seen a lot of cool tips on the forums and on Reddit to do some of the NPC challenges rather quick. So if you're stuck with something, definitely check out what the community has been doing because they know best how to tackle these. And then yesterday, the new global event started. Yes.
Sorry, could I interject something about the league? Saw the posts about rogue agents spawning in leagues, which they should not be. So I was we put out we haven't put out the fix yet, but we were working on the fix today, and it's being reviewed. So that should be coming in Q10. So
awesome.
in Q10, rogue agents will no longer spawn in the league.
Great.
Cool. I think that's really a good change because we've seen a lot of people like, oh, it's such a good time, and then you have a rogue agent encounter and they just wipe the floor with you, and you're like, well, I guess I have to start over again.
Yes. Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah. On that note, I also saw actually, we can just move on because it's a global event thing. So global event reanimation reanimated, I think is the name, has started yesterday. We have some videos on that as well for the overview.
Thank you for the segue. I will bring that up now. Cool.
Yeah, so it's live now. It runs for a week. You can, as with the first global event, earn unique rewards in this. You can also run the global event at the same time as you do the league time runs, for example, if you feel that it makes you quicker. For reanimation itself, so it's a new enemy tech, and that allows basically hostile NPCs to respawn, reanimate after death. The good thing about reanimated enemies, they have a little bit less health, actually quite a significant less health, I think. So it's not as difficult to kill them again. But you can also just stop them from reanimating by giving them a headshot. And that's how you play this global event. And as you've seen in the video, there's a cool skull backpack trophy that you get for completing all of the challenges. What I've also seen people talk about, there's daily challenges that unlock. They're not locked to the days. So, for example, yesterday was the day 1 challenge. If you didn't do it yesterday, you can still do it today. And going forward, I think there's, again, 5. So you can do all of them whenever you want until, again, Tuesday morning or morning for European time when we do the maintenance. But you can just do them whenever you want, all at the same time as well. Some of them might help if you do them at the same time. So there's no rush to doing them on the date that they are getting active.
Okay. Very cool. I want to show the video where they explode. So if you haven't had a chance to play it yet, like myself, I haven't actually had a chance to jump in game yet, but I really want to because it looks like explosions, and I'm into corpse explosions. Gives me Diablo 2 Neolithic corpse explosion vibes, so I'm into it.
Yeah, so that's a lot of fun to play. I was doing it last night on Lincoln. And playing that really solo cool. With all the different bosses and everything, that was pretty great.
Yeah. Gameplay was captured by George, by the way. So those suicides, that's George.
His name dying or himself killing himself, then you can put it on Twitter.
Yeah. Please comment George for his gameplay. Okay, what else do we have today, Chris?
We have. So just a reminder, the Manhunt is obviously going on for the season as well. If you haven't participated in that, there's currently 3 Manhunt targets that are available. The map in Washington and New York has been basically painted by them where they are. You can, again, take them down this week, or you can wait until next week, because next week will be all 4 Manhunt targets available. And then that also means if you have taken them all down, you will be able to access the special mission that is for the prime target, which is Jupiter. And we've been talking about this. The EMP Sticky skill mod will be the reward, or one of the rewards that you get from killing Jupiter. And again, you can do all of them next week if you want to wait. You can also start progress this week already on the 3 that are available. And I also want to mention, because we've said that in the past, so the EMP Sticky skill mod will become available after the season ends. So you know, if for some reason you're not available until like June because you have to go somewhere or you have to do something, that's fine. We will find a way to make it available via gameplay. It will likely not be available immediately after the season ends, just because we do want to reward players that are participating in the Manhunt during the season, instead of like, you know, waiting for it to end is the better alternative. That's not quite where we want to go with it. And if they're, you know, we know that people wanted to play the special mission that we've talked about for Jupiter as well after the season ends. we'll see how that goes and where that goes. Maybe that's something that we can talk about with Trick and one of the future State of the Games as well.
Perfect. I like it. There's also, I want to talk about the sports ball outfits.
Go
quickly as well. So what's happening there, Chris?
Yeah, so for those that haven't looked into the apparel shop yesterday, we just wanted to highlight this because we've actually got a bunch of DMs on this. So the Team Spirit outfits are now available for purchase. They were previously not available for purchase, but they now are. So you can get them in the shop for premium credits. And you can see the action shot here. And then we also have all 4 outfits, I think, next to each other. I can hear Hamish click, so that should be showing up on my feed as well. Again, we normally don't, talk about these too much, but I know that a lot of people were very interested in getting them, and you weren't able to get them in the in-game store for a while now. So now they're available. And the same goes for the Tactical Response outfit, which was a early purchase bonus if you pre-ordered Warlords of New York, that you can also now buy if you want.
Cool. All right. Good to know. What else is going on, Chris? Is there anything else we need to get to? Or Mackenzie, were there any questions that you saw?
Yeah, let's go. Exactly. Go with Mackenzie first if he has anything to add.
Yeah.
I saw a question about status effect duration for NPCs. We're not adjusting that quite yet. We've only changed the damage. And we're going to see how that goes with 9.1, and then we'll look at if we need to make additional changes. That's kind of the case for all of 9.1, that we're going to see how it goes, see how it looks, see if maybe the changes to the Hyena SMG aren't enough, or we're just going to really look at the situation, and if more changes need to be made, then we're going to make them. Because the game should be fun, and that's just kind of, we need to find the right point for everything to be at.
The game should be fun. That sounds like a really good design ethos. I have a couple of questions for you, Mackenzie. I saw in chat that someone has recognized you from your House Hunters International fame.
No.
Should I not point this out?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Someone else at Massive was also on House Hunters International.
Yes.
Yeah.
Noel
Wallen. You may have seen that before. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we worked together. We actually had the same realtor on the show.
There you go. My partner actually makes a B-roll, a really convoluted B-roll appearance in Noel's episode. Anyway, there you go. And also, nice. How do you keep your hair looking so presentable?
Oh man, showers.
But have you cut it?
No, I just
lockdown?
Got lucky. I had a haircut on Valentine's Day actually, so it was right kind of before lockdown.
That looks fantastic for Valentine's Day cut.
Yeah.
Well done. Right. I've seen some question on 9.1. So that's again next week, Tuesday, normal maintenance time. When that come out, then I see a very angry, all caps chat message about loot. As we said, loot is a topic that we'll tackle with TU10. So I know that the team is looking into what we want to do, and what we want to make sure if and when and how it looks like. I know there's a lot of feedback that is regarding legendary, especially, and all the purple things. I know that Nikki has done some I want to say suggestions internally, and I don't want to talk about them any now because I don't know if they've gone in. But I know that, for example, control points and how that loot looks like in the caches and everything is a topic that is being discussed. Again, if we have more information that will be available, we'll share it with you, maybe with Nikki on the stream, or again, Trick also might be coming in and all that stuff. One thing I want to mention, because we are still the Division game on Twitch, is also that we have posted that there's currently no event going on for the Division 1 for the first game. That is still being worked on. So as you might imagine, we have to make a new build for the game. And with the current work from home situation, it's a little bit more difficult than anticipated. So it will just take some more time. We will have another, yearly schedule for events in the first game. That is the plan. We don't have an update yet. And that's it for me.
Someone asking, where's Yannick? We had to cut him from the show because he didn't get a webcam. So he got fired.
Yeah. He and he was also not wearing any pants that,
wasn't going to fly. Good question. Yannick's in chat. Get a webcam, Yannick. Get a webcam. I miss you. Okay. There's a couple of really cool agent highlights I want to get to today. I know, like, we've had a lot of information, so thanks, Mackenzie. Super appreciate it.
Yes.
Some people aren't super interested in agent highlights. I am. We've had the information. Yannick says you don't want to see my hair right now. I do, actually. All right.
Wait,
agent highlight.
I just saw something in chat that is really important. Yannick just said that he's not Mackenzie, and I'm confused.
What?
Yeah.
Something that I don't quite understand with that. All right. Agent highlight number 1. It's an update from SHD Umbra. This one is super cool. So, Chris, I think you'll be able to see this one. Umbra's been hitting us with a bunch of really cool miniatures, but this one's my favorite so far. Joe Ferro. That's 10 out of 10 for me. Super, super cool.
Super awesome.
I'm into it.
That's like the details in this. Like, again, I have no talent whatsoever. So whenever you guys like show us what's going to be on the show, I'm just like blown away.
No talent with miniature painting, or just no talent across the board?
No talent. Like, I just don't know how I got here. So
okay, all right. And then this next one is a really cool story. So LDB Gaming with the Rogue Watch tattoo. I was blown away with it at first, and we got into a little bit of a Twitter exchange about it. The rest is, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but my least favorite part to get tattooed on. So we were chatting about that, and then he sends me a link of his video. He's doing it to himself. Like,
yeah,
that's
when you just
insane.
said that before, I was like, that's not. I would just like die because I heard how painful that is, and he just like casually makes like a really cool tattoo as well by himself on his own wrist.
Yeah, that is awesome. So if anyone has any of you mods, if you can go to LDB Gaming on Twitter and then find the YouTube link, it's pretty recent, and just post it in chat. It's insane. Like, anyway, I'm mad impressed. So LDB Gaming on Twitter if you want to see some of that. It was for his 10,000 subscriber celebration. So what do you do for 20,000 to top that? I don't know. I'm not sure. Because that's I don't know. Maybe you get like a Fei Lao tattoo on your face. That's I kind of.
I'm giving you ideas.
Yeah. Oh, you could. Okay. You could like get, I don't know, Sawyer's knee pads like tattooed on your knees. That'd be pretty sick. Chris, why aren't you committed to this idea?
That sounds mighty painful.
Yeah. One that, and then 2. I like, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks good on you. I have to say that, but like, I don't think I'm the tattoo guy.
So there's some great ones coming in from chat. Phoenix logo on the forehead. I like it. Imperial holster tattoo on thigh. I like that. Cleaner mask on face. Do it. Just commit. There's no problems with that idea. Yeah. Hunter masks on face. Just do it. Don't think twice. I guarantee it'll be just a 10 out of 10 idea. Okay. That is all for today, unless you guys have anything else you want to get to. Maybe some reminders about when people can expect this, Chris.
Exactly. So I see comments about raid and all that stuff. So again, we don't have a date yet. It's still Nordic Spring, which ends in June. We'll have more information as we get closer. It's been worked on. It's being tested right now. So we should be close.
I've played it the past 2 weeks. It's awesome. The team at Annecy is doing great work.
Yes, that's a very good shout out. Yeah, exactly. Like the guys from Annecy have been working on this. We're testing it now as well. There's no plans to delay it further, as I see here. Again, we are in a weird situation working from home. The testing is also weird and all that stuff. So like just us playing internal builds is difficult. So just keep that in mind. And then, as I said last week as well, we do believe that we dropped the ball a couple of times with the testing and the balance and all that stuff. So we've been pushing for a PTS. PTS means we need more time. Once we have that figured out of like how that goes and when we'll do this and if we'll do this, that will also just decide on how the rate will be published, right? So imagine if we do a PTS for a week or two, then we'll have to have some time to make the changes. based on the PTS, and then we will release. So that's the reality is that we just currently don't have a date for you yet, but it is not far away. So it's not going to be winter or something like that. We want to stick with the spring, and that's all we can say. But we will give you enough heads up on the changes and when it's coming so that you can be prepared. And that's all for now. But again, there's no need to be worried about a huge delay or anything like that.
Awesome. Thanks, Mackenzie. Thanks, Chris, for joining today. Chris, I assume there'll be some patch notes up when?
So yeah, patch notes for 9.1 will be Monday evening. The list for the NPC changes, because I saw Joker sneakily DM me on Discord here. I think that will go out with the Ubi News recap. So if you don't know, if you have friends that don't watch the stream, there's always a Ubi News recap after the show, a couple of hours later. That should have most of the changes in there as well. So you can find them there. And then again, full patch notes next week that will also include all of the bug fixes and changes that are coming with 9.1.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. We'll be back again with another State of the Game next week, I assume.
Yes.
Right? All right. Cool.
That is the plan.
All right. We'll see you all again real soon. Keep an eyes out for all the patch notes and enjoy TU 9.1 on Tuesday. All right. Thanks again, guys, for joining. I'll catch you again real soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.